I've never heard the sound of a rifle in close proximity, but I'm sure it will rattle any soul from slumber. I can only imagine, though I dread it, as Ben was bleeding out in the parking lot, people took notice. As we all know in life, there are good Samaritans, and then there are the despicable ones, the lowest forms of life who exploit tragedy. So whoever saw Ben and called 911, I wish I could thank you. Via ambulance, he was rushed to the Detroit Receiving Hospital, where doctors implemented every life-saving measure, I'm sure. But due to the immense damage to his lower abdomen, he was pronounced dead around 2 a.m. the following Friday morning, September 18th. It needs no saying that Michael Chapple left Ben to die like an animal in that Comerica Bank parking lot. The news of this, of course, made its way through all the channels down to the police. How they honed in on the suspect Michael Chapple, well, I'll never know, but they did. It was roughly 4 days later, on Tuesday, September 22nd, 1992, at 4:20 p.m. at the Detroit Police Headquarters Homicide Division at 1300 Beaubien, Detective Patrick Henahan, as he often did, was working past his scheduled shift. This newly discovered suspect, who was on the 9th floor in a cell, was brought down to the 5th floor for questioning. The following is a reenactment of this interview based on the Detroit 36th District Court preliminary hearing transcript I received.
Have a seat, Mike, okay? So before we start, I'm Detective Henahan, and I have to inform you of your rights, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult an attorney before speaking to us. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. If you decide to answer questions now without one, you'll still have the right to ask for one, okay? So based on what I explained, are you willing to talk without an attorney?
Yeah, I can talk.
Do you understand your rights?
Yeah, I understand.
All right, what can you tell me about the man who was shot at the Comerica Bank on Shane, south of I-94 on Thursday night, September 17th?
I saw this man at the bank. He was at the all-night teller. I seen him before. He used to work at Bray's Auto Parts. I asked him if I could borrow $20. He said, "No, get out of my face." I left and ran to my friend John Anderson's house on Grandy and Palmer. I said to John, "Let me use your gun. I got a beef right fast." John said okay and gave me his rifle.
What happened then?
I left and ran back up to the bank, and I seen him. He was about to get his money.
Okay, continue.
I had the gun. It was pointed toward the ground. He saw the gun. I said, "Man, you gonna give me some money?" He said, "Man, I'll do anything, man. I'll give you anything. Just let me get my Bible." I said, "Okay, go ahead." Then he opened the driver's door and reached in the back seat. He had pulled out his Bible, and when he did, he had a gun, a 32 or a 38 under his Bible.
Okay, what happened then?
When he came out, that's when he pulled the gun toward me. That's when I picked up my gun and aimed it and fired. He fell near the front of his car. Then I looked in his car. Then I ran first and took the gun back to my friend John and left.
Continue.
I was walking home from John's on Grandy toward Medbury. I could still see the guy lying by the bank, but his car wasn't there.
Then what?
I saw Terrence driving the guy's car east on Medbury from Shane. Terrence stopped, and I leaned on the top of the car and looked in. He asked me where I was going, and I said home. Terrence drove away, and I just went home.
What kind of car did the man shot have?
It was a compact car. It looked like a Yugo car to me. A two-door, I think it was beige or white.
What is Terrence's last name, and what does he look like?
I don't know his last name. I just met him over the summer at Vernon Park playing basketball. I don't know where he lives, but he's black, 21, 6 feet, about 190, dark complexion, short hair, mustache, and a beard, wearing a red shirt that night.
Where does John Anderson live? And describe it.
John live over on Grandy and Palmer in them apartments. He's black, 26 feet, around 210 pounds. He's light-skinned with short hair.
Describe the rifle John gave you.
I think it was a 30-30. You hold it and you cock it like this.
How many times did you shoot at the man?
Once.
What happened to the man's money he was getting at the bank?
I don't know, because when I shot him, I just left.
What happened to the gun the man had?
I don't know.
Who loaded the gun you shot the man with?
It was already loaded. When John gave me the gun, he said it's already loaded.
You want to add anything or change anything in your statement?
Nah, I'm good.
Were you promised anything or threatened to get you to make the statement?
Nah, nobody did that.
All right, Michael, if you attest your statement is accurate, I need you to sign each of these pages, okay?
So at this point, he signs in all of the appropriate places, and this is the conclusion of the interview and the end of Michael Chapple's freedom, I suppose, as he knew it to be. He basically forfeited freedom and turned in his life for a life behind bars. More on that later. In exchange for, I guess, nothing. He gained nothing. As a good friend of mine says about criminals, and it's always stuck with me, all that just to go to jail. Yeah. Again, this was not an actual interview audio, which I'm sure is apparent. It's merely something I created to add dimension to the transcript I received in 2024. I'm not convinced that a Freedom of Information request would produce an actual interview audio or video for that matter, being that it happened in the early 90s. But again, thank you for listening in and shouldering the sadness, if you will, of what happened to my brother Ben. I welcome your comments if you want to leave them below. I have always wanted to know more specifically what happened that horrific night in 1992 and document it. And I guess we got it straight from the source now, haven't we? Thanks again.